Hello, my name is Annika Bardaxis, and welcome back to another webinar series where today we're going to focus on cookies, but not the cookies you eat, even though we will be partaking in eating some crumble cookies, but the cookies from Google, considering there's been a lot of changes recently. But first, I'm going to go ahead and dive into one of these crumble cookies and go ahead and start cutting. But Michaela, did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I can totally do that. Hi, I'm Michaela Mundorf. I'm the Director of Digital Advertising and Strategy here at Sokal. I've been here for about, I guess, almost 9 years now, and I'm definitely excited to discuss two types of cookies today here in the office.
Yeah, we're going to be rating these crumble cookies. I think the first up, this is the kitchen sink cookie. So it's got chocolate chunks in it with potato chips and pretzels rolled into it to have like a crunch.
Whoa.
Right.
I love the idea of potato chips in there.
Would you do the honors and take the first piece?
Of course. This looks magical.
Right?
Wow. Can we get a close-up?
That's good stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like savory.
Mm-hmm. I like these choices.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. Can you explain what a cookie is in terms of browsers and stuff like that?
Okay, just to make it as simple as possible, a cookie is like a small piece of data that a website will drop into your browser when you're moving across the internet. So it basically helps to track information about who you are, what you're looking at on a particular website. They can be very functional and useful. It might allow a website to remember your login information. So the next time you come back, it'll be able to pop up in there if that's what you want it to do. Yeah. So it's just purely informational purposes, typically.
Are these on like all types of websites or just ones where like it's a storefront or just any website imaginable?
Any website imaginable. So they can, they can remain on your browser. So any website you go to, some of those websites are dropping those cookies into your browser, using them to track you. And then some of them are just on those websites where you're at, but other websites or platforms can drop those cookies into your browser that will follow you as you go across the internet. So they're always in use in your browser. And you may have seen kinds of situations before where you can go into your settings and clear your cache.
Clear your cookies.
You're clearing your cookies out. You're emptying them out to get rid of everything. And you may notice when that happens, you have to log back into all these websites that you were already logged into, things like that, because all of those have been cleared out and removed.
Yeah. Is this like an invasive thing? Like is it in like a spooky kind of way? I don't know.
I think that's a very real question and a very good one, because it can be very useful, but can also be kind of creepy.
Yeah.
So which is why we're starting to see more and more, I guess, government regulation and laws coming up concerning everybody's data and privacy. So
I've seen some things too say, like some sites and stuff be like, it's like a cookie free, which is really crazy.
Yes, you'll see little pop-ups across your screen that say, hey, we're using cookies to track your information. Is this okay? You can accept or decline, or you can go in. Usually a lot of places will let you set what types of cookies you'll allow and which ones you won't, because there are different types that are used for different things. So there might be some where you're like, yes, these are really valuable. They help the website to function the way that it needs to, but these are more for tracking purposes, advertising, and some people want to protect their privacy in those areas.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm understanding so far. I know that there have been changes to the cookies recently, but what is a third-party cookie?
Okay. A third-party cookie. So let me explain there's a third-party cookie and a first-party cookie are the two main ones that we talk about. First-party, let me start with that because that's a little bit easier, I think. The first-party cookie is the cookie that belongs to the website that you're on, essentially. So when you go to Target.com and you log in, they have their cookies on your browser. They let it lets Target know this is a returning customer. Here's their login information. It keeps what you had in your cart last time, still in your cart the next time you go back. Those kinds of things. So it's for that one that you're on. A third-party cookie means that it travels with you to other websites that are no longer that website. So, for example, a Facebook cookie, it will be dropped into your browser, say when you're on Facebook or when you've clicked an ad for Facebook. But then when you go to a different website, you go to CNN or you go to, literally anything, it will remain on your browser. And now it's a third-party cookie following you along and seeing what are the other things that you do. Usually those third-party cookies are used to help serve you ads. So we're like, oh, okay, we know that you went to... so like a Facebook cookie can track you from there, or if you came to a specific website where we have a Facebook pixel there and it drops a cookie, we know that, okay, you went to this website, you looked at this vehicle, and now we see the other things that you're doing online, and we're going to serve you ads for that vehicle and similar ones.
Yeah.
Using that third-party cookie as we follow you along.
Yeah.
So there's like lots of different ways that this information can communicate with each other.
And work together.
Yeah.
But so are these cookies, are these the ones that are changing, or are these the ones that like their rules are changing? What's up with them?
Right. So first-party cookies are sticking around.
Yeah.
They're very useful. They're limited to the site that you're on. Those are remaining the same. Third-party cookies, what's happening now is Google is essentially deprecating their use on Chrome. So they're saying we're no longer going to support third-party cookies in Chrome. And it's a big change. Actually, Safari and Firefox have already done this in the past couple of years. They don't utilize third-party cookies unless you specifically go and opt into them, which not that many people do.
Yeah.
And now Google is doing it. So that's going to be 3 of the biggest browsers all saying we're no longer using third-party cookies. So it's not like they don't exist anymore, but they're really just going to be no longer functional for the advertising industry or anybody. Because Chrome has, a huge percentage of the market share of browsers.
Yeah.
So that's planned to happen. Google's been changing like the time frame of when this is going to happen. Right now they're testing it on 1% of Chrome users globally. But I guess it remains to be seen exactly when it fully takes place for Chrome. They had said it was going to be at in the last 2 quarters of this year, but now they've pushed it back to like the beginning of next year, and we shall see what happens.
Yeah, if they decide to keep it or if they decide to change it more, like maybe I guess the rollout would just be slower than they anticipated.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I can only imagine how this would change, I guess, for businesses that do a lot of their like advertising like online, especially like through like Google and stuff like that. Would it drastically change? Like, I'm assuming it would.
Yeah, it's a huge
focus
change.
somewhere else. Yeah.
It's a huge change. You have to change how you find the people that you're going to be advertising to.
Yeah.
You change how you track what they do once they see your ad and click on it. There's a lot of different pieces. Essentially, almost every aspect of the industry is changing in one way or another because of this. And I do think it, from what I've been doing a lot of research over the past several years. And from what I've been seeing, a lot of people are saying, hey, this is a good thing. Third-party cookies were created, forever ago. And there's some things that are outdated. There are better ways to do this.
Yeah.
So on one hand, cool, we're making progress. This is going to be good. But on the other hand, it's very much having to rebuild or recreate everything in the industry based on new stuff. So it's a
big change.
A wild ride. Yeah.
Is there like a certain reason other than like governmental advisory that these are being phased out, or is that just like the main kind of reason they just don't want to do it anymore?
I think the main thing comes down to like user privacy becoming such a huge issue. And so some of it's just been part of like the zeitgeist, like part of what everybody is talking about for the past several years. People are starting to wise up and saying, oh, like the internet is free, but actually I'm paying for it with information about myself.
Yeah.
And so people are starting to want to regain control of that information. Cookies also, like third-party cookies, like I said, they're an older technology in some regards. So there's some ways that really are not protective of privacy that it makes a lot of sense to change them up and redo the way that way that it works. And then because of that, that's where you get these governmental regulations coming in. And so some big things have already happened in Europe, and then like California is usually the one to follow right after that. And now there's some additional things that have been rolling out over the past couple months.
Do you think that it will like starkly like switch how people are paying for their advertising? Like, will they not invest in as much in Google, or it'll just be allocated differently? Like,
I think it will. There's several different pieces of what you just said that I'm thinking about. So one of it is it's affecting Google and the ads shown on Google, but since it's across the internet, it's affecting ads that you're going to run literally anywhere. But I don't think that it's going to. Here's the thing. If you had asked me this question like 3 years ago when Google was first starting to say,
we're getting rid of
hey,
cookies.
we're getting rid of cookies, and they were like, and we're going to do it soon. It was just there was a very different timeline in the beginning, and I would have said, whoa, people are going to change up their advertising budgets dramatically because there's just at that point there were not solutions in place. And so everything was going to be really big. But over the past 3 or 4 years, like, and for people who are in the tech industry and saw the writing on the wall, for even longer than that, there have been solutions being developed. And now we're at the point where there are especially audience solutions out there that are really robust and really fascinating. So that I don't think it's going to be as huge of an impact to the industry as it would have like 3 years ago. Because it's been kind of delayed.
They've just been trying to perfect it.
There's a lot of solutions out there that a lot of different companies, like Google has their own solution for how they think that you should go about solving the like audience question and the conversion tracking question, retargeting question. They have their own solutions for themselves, but Facebook has solutions. A lot of different data providers have their own solutions. And a lot of these places like Trade Desk, et cetera, have their own solutions as well. So there's kind of like, we're almost spoiled for choice in some regards, because there are so many different things that we can do. And so I think it'll be really, really neat to explore the creation of what I would say like a solution toolbox for anyone who's wanting to advertise. It's going to be like a combination of a lot of different pieces all coming together. So I think we're in a good place, and there's obviously still more that's still even in development. So it's going to be exciting.
Interesting. All right. Well, I'm ready to dig into another cookie.
I know. I'm like eyeing these.
I know. I was giving them
so much talking.
I know. Sometimes you just need a break.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to cut into this peanut butter one.
Okay.
I'm a little interested as to how this is going to go. I didn't pick any of the safe options. I feel like they always have the chocolate chip cookie, and I was trying to pick the like special ones that they don't always have. But maybe I should have picked a safe one.
What I'm curious about this is, sometimes their cookies will have something in the middle.
I think this one's filled with
peanut butter?
I think that's what it said. I'm a little, maybe not. Okay, maybe not. Oh, well, it looks a little gooey.
It does.
I don't know if we can see that here.
All right. Real talk. I'm not a fan of peanut butter.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
I'm going to try this.
Oh, God. I deeply apologize.
Because I'm not allergic.
Oh, okay.
I'm just not a fan.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's peanut butter.
That is very peanut buttery.
Holy cow.
It's not filled with peanut butter.
It's peanut butter
It
adjacent,
just
though.
is peanut butter.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. I mean, I kind of like it, but
Yeah. It's very like Reese's Cup. Mm-hmm. It's just missing the chocolate.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of surprised they didn't put chocolate chips in this.
We should write them. Crumble cookies, if you're listening.
Please consider adding chocolate chips.
Mm-hmm.
They have to have done it before.
Yeah, or you could do like a half dip.
Or they
those are
could
always
do
so pretty.
a giant Hershey Kiss. Like those peanut butter, you know, those?
Yes,
yeah, those
classic.
are so good.
Very classic.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I need like some milk.
Mm-hmm.
This
I do too.
really intense cookie. Oh my gosh.
Why didn't we think of that?
I mean, I don't know. I wasn't prepared for it to be this salty. I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's peanut butter, but
You were just hungry when you picked out the flavors.
yeah.
The kitchen sink.
Yeah.
The peanut butter one. What's
And
this
then-
one?
It's blueberry pancake.
You were hungry.
Yeah.
You needed a meal.
Yeah. Blueberry pancake. There's only 2 ways that one could go. I don't know. All right. I wanted to ask you, since you were just talking about replacement solutions and what the possibilities look like in the future, are there any solutions that you could share with us that you think are super promising? Or
Yeah, I think so.
I know you mentioned Trade Desk. Sorry.
Yes. Trade Desk is one of the players in the industry that's been developing their own solution. They're calling it Unified ID 2.0. And it's something that they've been working on developing with a lot of partners. Essentially what they're trying to do is utilize people's login information. So like your email address that you use to log into a lot of different places, and gather that information connected with a lot of other different information that your browser still does track. But it's all going to be run through a thing that's much more privacy safe, I guess, to like really boil it down.
Would it be tracking where you're logging in, or would it be tracking your login info? Or both?
That is a great question. It would be tracking your login information. Like let's say if you log into the Wall Street Journal site, but that information itself doesn't like pop up in Trade Desk where I can see it and I'm like, oh,
yeah, like my
Annika,
username and password.
You've been on the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
It's not like that. It's much less invasive than that. But basically it takes that information and creates a entirely unknown identity out of that and then like syncs it up. I'm not doing a great job explaining this piece.
No, I think I understand.
But it's just a different way of tracking. So that's a solution that's out there. There's also, I think, one interesting piece is looking at contextual advertising, making a greater comeback. So in the past, contextual advertising was really big. That was the name of the game. You would say, oh, I know this person's interested in buying a tennis racket because they are on this website that's all about tennis.
Wilson.
Yes, they're on this tennis blog, or they're looking at, this particular thing. So I know that they're interested in tennis, so I'm going to serve them an ad for this.
Tennis ads.
Yes. So you're like looking at the context of the website that they're on, and that's how you know to serve them. Then we've moved into a thing saying it doesn't really matter what website you're on as long as we know that you're a person who's interested in eBay because you've been on eBay. So you can go anywhere on the internet
and eBay
and
will
we
follow
still
me.
know you. Yeah, eBay will follow you. But so now we're going kind of seeing a revitalization of the contextual style, but with so much more added technology behind it than there used to be like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is a piece that I would say right now we're starting to explore with some partners just to see like what's out there, because it's a piece that we've been including for all of our clients for a long time, but I think there's so much more depth there that we could really dig into as another way to like focus on people who are interested in like particular products, or are in like looking at vehicles as a way to like clue us in. I think there's some really cool layering that we could do there.
Yeah.
With the data that's available that would be completely privacy safe, but would still allow us to find those particular people.
Yeah, that are out there shopping around. What Sokal department handles this or is like working on this transition or like learning about it? Like it's I'm assuming a specific department underneath Michaela.
It's I would say it's a combination of several different things.
Yeah.
So like the main department that it is the digital department.
Yeah.
The main team that it affects is our programmatic team because we're the ones across the open internet. Huge effects. But our paid search team and our paid social team are also affected by it. There's just because they work in these walled gardens of Google and Facebook, there's a different ways that they're going to be affected and different solutions that they're going to be working on. So I've been working with all three teams and then along with our CTO, Jason, and some folks in our dev department to like get a lot of these data connections functioning. So it's a lot of different people involved in the process.
Yeah.
And it's been fun for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
When do you think like our clients would start to see like changes? Like has that started officially?
So we have been doing a lot of like tests, experiments, pilots, and there's pieces right now where we're starting to essentially take a step back, look at the pilots and tests we've been running and say, what do we want to implement when the time comes? And then what do we want to implement now? Yeah. Because, and so those things are going to start being pushed out likely like this summer, early fall, because Safari and Firefox already started with this. So there's some solutions there that will help with us. And it will just be, we want an ease of transition. Like I'm not looking to get to the point and just being like, everything switches January 1st.
Yeah,
super
that would be
dramatic.
a lot.
No, right? So this is going to be we've been planning this for quite a while, and it's going to be a rollout over the next several quarters. And then, of course, following the trends very closely of what Google is saying and doing. Yeah. Because updates, they don't come and then all of a sudden, boom, they're like, we've changed it.
Yeah. They come and go fast. Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, I think I'm going to cut into this last cookie.
Okay. This is the one I'm really curious about.
Oh my gosh.
Because it looks like a blueberry pancake.
Yeah. For those who would like to see, I don't know if you can. What if I just drop the cookie on the ground?
Just pour it out.
Yeah. I'm very interested in this butter situation.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a pretty way
to cut the butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Give it a go. Whoa. This is really sweet.
That buttercream is so buttery on top.
Yeah, this is good. I was really worried this was going to be really bad. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us, Michaela. This was a great webinar to learn more about Google cookies while we got to eat crumble cookies. It was a pretty sweet webinar, am I right?
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
No, this was great. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate, I like being able to just sit and talk comfortably about stuff like this. So thanks for having me on when you had cookies to eat.
Of course. It's also great. So I feel like I myself didn't know that much about cookies and them even before this change. So now I feel like I know a lot more in general. So it's great.
No, there's so much to learn. I'm always just trying to absorb information because right now there's a lot of solutions out there, but there's also so much still being worked on. So there's constantly new stuff to learn. It's cool.
And I got to sit with you. It's the icing on the cake.
Stop.
Oh. Okay.
Too good.
That's it. Thank you guys for joining and watching our webinar.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.